What is going on, Guardians? In today's video, I'm going to be going over some of the reasons why you should be using a sidearm in the Crucible instead of a sniper, a shotgun, or even a fusion. Before we get down into it, I'm going to quickly go over some of the buffs that have recently come to the sidearms. They have unified the damage for all the sidearm types, increased the damage for existing Hack-A sidearms by 3% for the lowest rate of fire and 7% for the highest rate of fire. They also extended the damage fall-off point for sidearms across the board by 0.5 of a meter, and they increased the stability for all the sidearms across the board. Now, before we get into it, I'm just going to say that this is going to be part one of a two-part series because of the two new archetypes that will be gracing us in the Rise of Iron expansion. So you'll probably see that, maybe in a week or so about those two archetypes as well. Look, here's the thing. I could probably count on one hand the amount of sidearms I've seen in, say, my last 30 games. 0. Not one. I never see sidearms in the Crucible, except for the one that I see when I switch to my secondary. Here's the thing. The sidearm has got to be one of the most flexible secondary weapon choices, allowing for impeccable close to mid-range killing power. I mean, honestly, sometimes I prefer using my sidearms over my last word. So let's talk about what you want to look for in a sidearm. The first thing I can tell you about a good sidearm is that you are looking for a fast rate of fire archetype. The sidearms that fall into this category are Iron Wreath, Jabber Hack-A, Queen's Choice, Conviction, and the Vestian Dynasty. My favorite of all these is the Conviction and the Jabber Hack-A. The Conviction you can go and buy from the New Monarchy dealer in the tower, and I'd highly recommend you do that if you haven't had one yet. In terms of perks, what you want to look for in your first column is definitely Rangefinder. And if not that, then Reactive Reload. I have a fantastic Reactive Reload Conviction that is great for multi-kills. Then for the second perk, what you want to look for is Hot Swap. Hot Swap every time. Maybe I'm being closed-minded to the other 7 perks that could drop in this column, but honestly guys, with a fire rate of 94, these sidearms definitely won't go without some serious stability problems. Hot Swap is a huge help with mid-range engagements, and generally speaking, when you switch to your sidearm, it is because the enemy is hot on your heels and you need a quick kill to get rid of that pesky bastard. Hot Swap is the perfect perk to accomplish just that. Now that we've gone over what a great sidearm is, let's take a look at why you need to be using a sidearm. Oh, and before I forget, you always spawn with ammo, hands down one of the best things about sidearms. Alright, now let me get this out of the way. A sidearm isn't always great with every setup. For example, you're not going to want to use the last word in a sidearm, simply because they are both close to mid-range weapons. Where's your long-range game at, bruh? The one exception to that is the uni and sidearm combo, but we'll touch on that later. Examples of great sidearm setups are those with solid mid to long range primaries. For example, something like a Mida sidearm combo would be stellar for almost every map and game type, the Mida allowing for insane mid to long range executions, and the sidearm for shredding those who dare to get close. How about the Hawksaw in the sidearm? Same idea, the Hawksaw allowing stellar mid to long range play, while the sidearm anchors it down up close. Now as for the universal remote, pretty well every time I use the gun it is accompanied by a sidearm. It's almost as beautiful of a combo as the No Land Beyond sidearm combo, which for those of you that have ever played with me will know is my favorite setup to use in threes. Now why would you use this over a shotgun for close range engagements? It's simple, the killing potential. Landing perfect headshots and maximum fire rate will bring the sidearm's TTK or time to kill close to that of the last word, except that instead of 8 bullets, you have 15. Combine that with Reactive Reload, you're looking at the most beautiful breaker medal you've ever gotten. Even without landing perfect headshots, your TTK will still be insanely high, not to mention that its kill range is much, and I mean much farther than the shotgun. I feel like I should also briefly touch on why you would use this over a God Roll sniper even. With the recent patch, snipers receive much higher flinch when ADS, so even when you are in sniper range, having a solid primary can counter a sniper quite easily in the current Crucible meta. I don't know about you guys, but I am insanely hyped to see what the 2 new sidearm archetypes are going to play like in Rise of Iron. But for now, I'm happy with the sidearms that I have. If you're one of those players that dismantles sidearms as soon as they get them, or just has them sitting in their vault, or hasn't even tried one in the Crucible, change that. Bust one of these bad boys out and watch all the carnage you can bring into the Crucible. Not to mention how freaking fun these things are. Thanks for checking out the video. If you enjoyed or learned something new, smash the titties off that like button. If you're new and like what you see, then hit that subscribe button so you can see when I upload. Anyways, I will catch you beautiful people in the next one.